Hello, welcome to the live stream. If you are new here, hello, welcome. My name is Amy Prokopis. I am an indie author. I write paranormal romance and romantasy, always with a bit of spice. That is me. I have 10 books published, and I am working on, I'm working on a lot of things, actually. What will come next is my duology. I am rapid releasing it in the summer. Tomorrow, the first book in that duology, Taming the Beast, goes to my editor. So I am very excited. I just finalized some things tonight to upload and send out to my editor for tomorrow. So that goes to my editor tomorrow. I will get that back at the end of April. In the meantime, I am drafting book 2 in that duology. The other half of it, which I just released the title of, is Submitting to the Beast. I am crazy excited about it. So I will rapid release those 2 books in the summer. And then shortly after, the third book in my vampire romance series, Curse of Wings, will come out. So that is kind of the lineup for 2026. Holy, I have a lot of things on the list. So welcome in. Hi, hello. I am so excited to have you guys along with me. Tonight, I am not actually planning to do a lot of writing. If I get around to drafting on Submitting to the Beast, then I will be excited. But I am not setting any kind of goal to get to that point. Tonight, I am planning. It is first week of April. I have just done the last of my closing out for March for basically just author business stuff. And so I am finalizing prep work for this month. I have a lot of things coming up. I have a signing event that I am doing not this weekend, but I believe it's the next weekend. Maybe. I believe so. So I have that coming up. I have also I've updated my website a little bit. So if you would like some signed books, or if you already own some of my books in paperback or whatever and would like them personalized, I sell book plates also. I uploaded that to my website as well. So you can get one of those if you would like to personalize your copy. They are available at amyprokopis.com, which is also linked in the description box. So I've done a lot of things already, and I'm prepping a little bit more. I am finishing some other projects tonight just to clear the way for April, which I am hoping, fingers crossed, will just be a ton of writing. I am hoping to do a ton of writing for Submitting to the Beast because I don't have anything else on my to-do list for April. I think things are pretty clear. I am going to try to write as much as I can. I'm going to try to write every day also and just see where I can get. So yeah, where do you host your website? I used to host through Bluehost, and then I moved over to Wix. That was quite a process. So I am still with Wix right now. I don't do a lot with my website. I used to have all of my online shop used to be through my Wix website, through their e-commerce side of things. I don't do that anymore. So now it's really just a landing page for me to just put all of my information, just things about my books. It's linked to my storefront, which is through Square. So when you click on the shop link on my website, it actually directs you to a Square site, which is my Square site that I use. I've used it for in-person events. And so I have officially merged everything over that I do from other platforms that I was using. Like I was doing all of my invoicing for freelance editing through QuickBooks, but I have moved all of my payment stuff to Square. So it's all in one place. So now my website is really bare bones. It's just a place for me to list stuff. And I like Wix because it is kind of similar to Canva. Everything is sort of drag and drop, which I like aesthetically. I will say, if you get super, super fancy, you do want to be really careful and look at the different views that they provide you when you preview your website. Definitely look at the website view, the desktop view, the phone mobile view also, because sometimes when it goes to the mobile view, weird things skew in your website. So I'd always look at all of those things, just like you do when you're proofing anything else. I would do that. So I host through Wix right now. All right. Speaking of things to do right now, I am also not fully off mom duty yet for the night. My little guy is still kind of hanging out. I gave him a little bit of bonus time to chill because he had a really nice day. He also slept in a little bit. So he's also not quite tired yet, even though it's Sunday and school is tomorrow. So I am going to bop out here in a second, since all I'm doing tonight is just kind of finalizing some prep for the rest of the week. And so in a minute, I'm going to duck out of here, go get him set up for the night, and then I will come back and continue with our sprint. So that's what I have going right now. What is everybody else working on for the night? I've already said I'm not writing tonight unless I just wrap things up really quickly, which I don't anticipate. I'm giving myself a little bit more grace with finishing things off before I jump into just writing as much as I can this week. So I have that going. I have a few things on a to-do list, sticky note on my laptop here. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have. But I would love to know what everybody else is working on tonight. I think I shared the link to our live stream, shared it to social media. Yes, I sure did. So if you're not following me on social media, you definitely should, because I'm really active online. So you can check all of my links out in the description box, all of my books, my website, since I was talking about like updating my merch shop there, and social media, of course. And also another news, I did make a change this last week. I decreased my Patreon tier cost because I haven't adjusted that since Apple with iOS integrated their new fees. If you purchase subscription to Patreon or other things through iOS, through like the Apple Store on your phone, it adds more cost than if you were to purchase it from a desktop. I also did not think a ton about the additional fees that come through when you purchase a tier through Patreon, just some of the extras that go along with that. So I haven't made a price adjustment in a while, and I have decided, because I don't do multiple tiers, especially, I only have the one tier, and my goal has always been, while it's nice to get a little bit of income from that stream as well, what I really wanted is for that to be a space where I can share a lot of behind the scenes looks at my work, but also maybe some author tips and tricks, and to be able to link that to a place on like a secure platform, if that makes any sense. Like, I wanted it to be exclusive, but I also didn't want it to be so expensive that it really is like all this good information is behind a paywall necessarily. So a lot of the things that I share there, I do end up sharing to places like YouTube and publicly. It's just a place for me to better organize all of that information, and also so that I can get it out to people first. So it's really fun. I'm able to do early YouTube videos, and it's just a nice place to hang out. And so I've reduced the price. So it is now $3 a month, which is as low as you can set, or at least it's not as low as I think you can set a tier, maybe, or maybe it is now. I know $3 is the minimum you can charge for like a product, I think, through Patreon. So Either way, there was a reason, I just don't remember right now, that I reduced the price to $3 a month, which is a whole lot lower. So if you were thinking about trying out Patreon, you can go over there and do that and lock in. I am looking at other like different things I could bring back to Patreon. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing some like pop-up live streams as I'm trying to do all of this writing. Just when I can sneak stuff in, maybe go live and just chat with people who are available there, just a little bit more informally. So we will see. But yes, I have gone on long enough. I think it is time for the first sprint of the night. If you are brand new here, we do 3 sprints on the Write With Me live stream, and we will do 25 minutes each, and we'll chat in between. I'll talk about bookish updates. Feel free to jump into the comments, ask questions, chat about what you're working on. I would love to hear that as well. It's really fun to see progress from week to week. So I love to hear how you guys are doing and how everything is going for you. So yeah, come jump in the comment section or in the chat if you're here live. All right. 25 minutes is on the clock. Once this timer starts, I'm going to mute myself so you won't hear me, but you will hear the timer go off at the end of the 25 minutes. All right, here we go. 25 minutes in 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. That was our first sprint. I am just about at the end where I was as far as like working things. I'm almost done with it. Oh my gosh. Like not even a minute more and I would be able to be like fully finished with what I was working on. I'm counting it. So sprint number 1, I have checked off the first task of the night, which is great. So did that. I am going to wrap that up and then move on to my next to-do item for planning when we do our next sprint. So how was that for everybody else? I don't know. How much did you get done? Hopefully it was a good first sprint. Somebody says they're editing. Added 208 words to a chapter, did some research. You added that much. Wow. That's pretty great. Adjustments. Oh, I don't know. I've been so tired this week, guys. I don't know about you. Also, this weekend was busy. For me, I had a couple different events. It's also Easter weekend. I don't know if any of you celebrate. We don't really celebrate Easter that much. Occasionally, we'll go somewhere. We usually will do an Easter egg hunt for our son or go to one somewhere around town, but we don't do like big celebrations for Easter. Yeah, but it was still a really busy weekend because not only did I have a ton of things I needed to finish, but so did my husband. So we were very busy this weekend. Yeah. And that's that. So coming up this next week, I need to I need to prep for the next signing event I am at. It is just at my local library. So nothing too crazy or big. I do this event every year ever since I started as a published author. It's just really nice to give back to my local community. So I do that in my hometown. And then after that, I think I don't have anything lined up for May, but I am looking. So if you live in the Oklahoma area or region to me and you know of an event that maybe I could still get on, or maybe you are in connection with a bookstore or something and would like to have me come, I would be very interested. So I am looking to fill up my May. So that is another task actually on my to-do list of things, is to figure out events for May. I'm trying to do, I think I told myself I would do 5. I feel like it was more than that. 5 events for 2026, and I already have at least that many booked on my calendar. I've already been to several this year. And so now I think it would be nice to do one of some kind of event per month or something, whether that's like an in-person or online. I actually thought it would be fun to do like a virtual book tour. Maybe in relation to this duology, something just for that. I have never done a virtual book tour. I don't know what I would do for that, but I thought it would be fun. And I'm also trying to brainstorm other like monthly challenges because I really miss doing that series on my YouTube channel. I used to do a monthly challenge video almost every month. I was on like a string of 9 months, I think, at one point almost, where I was doing these monthly challenge videos and I kind of miss them. I think I may actually do like my own writing monthly challenge of some kind, kind of like old school NaNoWriMo. So maybe I think it would be fun to do that to finish drafting this book, but I don't know. If you have ideas, I would love to hear them. So drop them below or let's chat about it because I am looking for stuff. I go back and forth about events, to be entirely honest. because I do like doing events, and it's fun to go and to meet readers and connect with other authors, but they are also pretty taxing sometimes to me. And depending on if I have to travel much for them, sometimes they're really stressful also because I get a little stressed out about travel still. So I try to keep pretty local, and that's why I've been looking at online event options. So if you are somebody who has an idea for me, especially about those online events, or maybe you've done some yourself, I would love to pick your brain. So let me know if that's you. Yes, Sarah Cannon always has her draft challenge. I did not hop onto that for this month. Honestly, I just wasn't prepped very well to do that. And so I'm thinking about doing something on my own for the next month, maybe. But yes, Sarah Cannon does one in the spring and she does one in the fall that falls when NaNoWriMo used to, or about the same time. But those are nice because you can kind of set your own goals. They're not like NaNoWriMo, which was to write a book in a month, You can set your own individualized goals. And it still has that online platform because she has a website set up for that. So I think a lot of people liked the community of having that website to update projects on NaNoWriMo and such. So I don't know. I'll figure something out. Since I'm editing, I couldn't either. I'll be starting a new draft mid-month, hopefully. That sounds awesome. I would love if I could finish writing Submitting to the Beast in April. It has been not a long time. It's been a year since I've been able to write a book in a month. That used to be how I fast drafted all of my books. I wrote all of them in about a month, just really dedicated to it. And so I would just do late nights and just deal with the fact that I was a little bit more tired than normal for that month because I was drafting. And then I would have downtime for planning and prep in between. And so it was really nice. I kind of miss those days where I fast drafted like that. Nowadays, it takes me about 3 months, which is honestly a lot more realistic for, I think, the average author, if that even is a little fast, I think, too, for a lot of people. But I don't know. It's been working for me okay. So that is what I am doing my math on, is the 3-month mark, to try to gauge all of my progress. So that's how I'm figuring out what my due dates are. I have no deadline set this year. I told myself in January that I had guidelines, but I didn't want to commit myself to any firm deadlines just because my life the last year was in such transition between so many different events, moving to a different day job that allowed a lot more flexibility for writing, for my career. But stuff with our son being more fluid, with him being in school, just a whole lot of moving parts. And I felt like I was constantly adjusting this last year. And I don't know, I didn't want to pigeonhole myself. I was worried all the time because I was under a lot of pressure, not so much pressure, but pressure for myself, because I kept having to shift and adjust my schedule in order for it to fit a deadline all the time. And so I told myself this year, rather than me trying to be really fluid to meet my publishing deadlines, I decided I would make the publishing deadlines really fluid and flexible. And I thought that would make it a lot easier for me to meet my expectations, to move the needle a little bit. Now I'm just rambling. It's made me feel a little bit more successful because it's realistic and easier to achieve. And it also accounts for anything that may arise within my schedule. So it's really nice to be able to say that, yes, I can do this next week because I don't have anything like a firm barrier in the way. It's just my own expectations. So no deadlines this year. I think this is a good time to move into the second sprint of the night. We're going to do another 25 minutes. I'm at the end of this project, so I'm going to wrap that up and then move on to the next to-do task on this little sticky note here. I am excited, and yeah, I do need to finish all of these tasks tonight, so we're not too far off. Almost there. All right, so 25 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. I was able to knock out a lot in the second sprint, which I am super excited about. I feel like we haven't been following the tickers down below very closely. We were supposed to talk about taming the beast in the last one. I think I need to update them again so that they say different things, because I don't really have any updates, especially for Curse of Wings. I did just make a fun graphic that was part of my to-do for the night. I did make a fun trope graphic. I may end up updating it the closer we get to actually writing and drafting book 3, the Curse of Wings book 3. But I did go ahead and make a graphic kind of the tropes I know will be in the details I know will be in book 3, just because I am posting something to my Instagram tomorrow that I wanted to highlight that book. So yeah, I just did that, but we're not following these very closely. And like I said, I really don't have a lot to say. The big update is that Taming the Beast goes to my editor tomorrow and will be with my editor until the end of April. So Taming the Beast is off on its own little adventure for now. And I am drafting Submitting to the Beast, which is a fun one. Totally different sentiments, right? Taming versus submitting. And it's not the story. I don't think it's like the story you would expect either. So it's kind of fun. I am dying to get back to writing and drafting. If you watch my vlogs, I've talked a little bit about kind of the journey getting back into writing this book 2, Submitting to the Beast, just because I have been so busy unexpectedly when I started to draft this book that it took me longer than normal to really get into the swing. So yeah, it took me longer than I thought. Thank you for the sprints. Finished chapter. Getting pretty tired. I'm going to bed. That is all right. It is getting late, at least for me. So I don't know what time it is for you guys, but it is getting late here also. So I totally understand. I was kind of concerned that I would have to stay up a little bit later to get everything finished that I have to and would like to for tonight, but I am actually making really good progress. So I'm going to be completely done, I think, in this third sprint and have a little bit of extra time. So I may actually be able to look at my draft of Submitting to the Beast and potentially do a little bit of tinkering on that just for funsies. Let me pull that up over here. I'm not going to show you guys though. Not going to show you. I am 8,458 words into this draft. Oh, I am dying to write. Oh my gosh, I'll be able to. I'm going to get writing time tomorrow for sure. So we're getting back into it. Drafting is by far the most fun thing. I like all of the stages of writing and publishing books, but there's nothing like telling a story and just the creative expression. So much fun. That's why I typically rotate, like I'm always writing something, and that's kind of why. So everything goes in phases. So if I'm drafting one book, I am usually having the other edited professionally, and the next is in production or publication, like launch month. So I'm always rotating projects, because if I'm not writing at least a little bit, if I go too long without writing something, I get really antsy and anxious because I'm not doing the stuff that I enjoy, and that makes me feel good. So prioritize self-care. So I have just a little bit more to wrap up. And then my plan is to look at my draft. I don't think I'll write. I think what I'll really end up doing is looking at my planner and kind of setting my intentions for the week, because the only thing that I have this week is writing for book stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. So I think we should jump into the final sprint of the night. Go ahead and do one more, and then we will be done, and we will chat about the upcoming week. All right. 25 minutes on the clock. Final sprint of the night, and we are going to wrap up. 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. Whew, I finished everything that I was hoping to tonight. I have just a little bit more. I am going to wrap up just some details I need to finish off for tomorrow, but I'm done. So I am really pleased with everything I accomplished. I'm feeling really good. These Sunday live streams are always the perfect way to me to kick off the week. So thank you guys for joining me. I always appreciate it. Like the stream down below. It helps out a whole lot more than you think, and it takes like a second. So hit the like button below. Make sure you are subscribed because I go live every single week. I am trying, guys, to do a better job of the Wednesday, more like sit down subject specific videos. So I'm hoping to put a few together very, very soon. I really miss doing them. Oh, but I think I've just started to second guess them. When I go to like film and stuff, I've got I could go on about the hangups with that. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I always love our time together. And yeah, check out the links in the description for all of my social media. I'm very, very active. And that's it for the stream. Read books, be kind. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.